Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I have been meaning to film this video for probably about a month now, ever since we ripped all of the built-ins out of Steve's office. So in case you're new here, when we first moved into this place just over a month ago, there was like a really big kind of built-in situation in Steve's office. There was like a desk, bookcase, cupboard, there was loads going on. We ripped it out because it's just not what we wanted for the room, and it actually made the room feel really, really small, but it was in really good condition. I actually listed it on Facebook Marketplace for free. Someone came and collected most of it. So I'm glad that we were able to kind of recycle it and give it a new home, because I definitely didn't want to just chuck it away. I have got a few just scraps of wood left. Again, I didn't want to just chuck them away because I felt like we could use them for something. And there is something in particular I have had in my mind ever since I ripped it out. So I'm going to put in some inspo photos, because these kind of side tables seem to be all the craze right now. I don't know what you call them, but they're like a really simplistic, modern kind of like T-shape side table. There's loads of different kind of variations on this style with coffee tables, all sorts. So I thought I would build my own. This kind of thing is quite expensive to buy online. It's very much a trend right now. So yeah, I thought I would tackle it and build my own kind of like little side table. So this is actually to go in Steve's office. So I love the fact that we've ripped this stuff out of Steve's office to then kind of put it back in Steve's office in a different way. But very much just wanted to kind of reuse, recycle some bits that we already had. Nice little story behind it. And it's pretty easy to do. So let me show you how I went about it. So here are the scrap bits of wood that I'm going to be working with today. There are 4 in total, but I only ended up needing 3 of them. They're just a really simple chipboard with a laminate wood effect on top. I absolutely love the colour though. It's a really nice kind of blonde Scandi style wood colour, which is going to go perfectly with our house once it's finished. So I just started playing around with them, making sure I was 100% certain that this is the layout I wanted to go for, and it was. So it's just a simple T base with one of the pieces of wood on top. I was deliberating whether I could keep the top that big or not, but it just wasn't really working. So first step was assembling the base. I grabbed my no-nonsense grab adhesive. This is really good because it actually dries really quickly and it's super strong as well, but I would recommend getting something that is clear and doesn't dry white. So I just ran the glue along the side that was going to attach to the top of the T of my base. It's pretty self-explanatory, but I just flipped it over, put it on top there. I wiped away as much excess adhesive as possible, and I actually went in with a little bit of masking tape and just put a couple of bits on each side to make sure it didn't kind of budge or fall down whilst it was drying. I left it to dry for about half an hour and it was super sturdy. I then propped it up to make sure it was standing upright, and I started playing around with this top piece again. As you can see, it's just way too big. It looked really silly. I thought it may work, so I decided to cut this down. I measured how big I wanted it. I put a piece of masking tape along the board there just so I could make some markings that were visible when I was going to be cutting it, and I ruled the line that I wanted to cut along. I'm using my Works handheld circular saw just to make a nice straight cut. This is how it was looking once I made that cut. As you can see, the size of it is just so much better. It's way more in proportion than it was before. So I went in with my adhesive, ran it along the top bits of the base that were going to be touching the top of the table, and just placed the tabletop on top. I even put a couple of books on there just to weigh it down and make sure that it was going to be super stable. Whilst the rest of it was drying, I decided to go in with my edging tape. This is just excess edging tape that came off of stuff that when we were dismantling it. So I trimmed it to size. Normally I think you would iron this on, but because this had already been used, I decided to just use my adhesive again and put a couple of little dots on the back there, and then make sure I was pressing it down as much as possible, getting rid of any kind of air bubbles and stuff, and sticking it to the sides where there was raw chipboard. Right guys, so this was probably one of the most easiest projects I have ever done. It honestly took me like 20 minutes to do. Super, super quick and easy. Let me show you what it's looking like all finished and styled up in Steve's office. So like I said, it's so quick and easy to do. Obviously, I already had the scraps of wood, which were just like laminate furniture board. You can get a furniture board from somewhere like B&Q. If I didn't have these bits of wood already and I wanted to start from scratch, I would actually use plywood, because you can buy plywood for really, really cheap from places like B&Q, and they actually have a free cutting service. I think you can get like up to 5 cuts for free, and they're only like 50p after there anyway. So you could easily use something like plywood. It has like a really cool kind of line effect on the edging, and also it is wood, so you'll be able to stain it and do whatever you want with it, which you can't do with a laminate. So I'm really glad that I could recycle and reuse the bits of wood that I had, but definitely a really, really good, like affordable project to do if you're wanting a similar kind of look. I have also got another upcycle coming up. It's not really an upcycle. It's like I've taken two things and I'm making a project out of it. It's a coffee table. So I've got some bits to do, a DIY coffee table, which again, massive money saver, and I think it's gonna look really, really good. So if you haven't already subscribed, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, because it really supports my channel. And yeah, stay tuned for more renovation and DIY content.